I can't argue with no trolls. I am a troll. This is what I do. I get on this bitch and tweak with y'all ass all day, every day. You hear me?
THF Zoo was never shy about being a troll, but that's not why his name is blowing up now. The Chicago rapper, real name Da Vinci Bezo Collier, was ambushed and fatally shot on October 26, 2025, just 35 years old. His final message to close friend Lil Durk might even hint at who set it up. The hit went down around 3 a.m. on South Street Louis Avenue in Chicago's Little Village, a tight, mostly Mexican neighborhood on the city's southwest side. Zoo was one of 3 men caught in what police call a planned ambush, pulled off with cold precision and heavy firepower. Reports say the group was in a parking lot when an unknown vehicle rolled up and opened fire, spraying bullets non-stop.
Yo, it's your boy King Yella, man. Bezo was shot 2 times in the chest, man. Yesterday, man. We had people posting like he passed away yesterday.
At the scene, investigators counted nearly 40 shell casings from rifles and 9mm rounds. Proof this was no random shooting, but a full-blown assault that left Zoo's life cut short. 5 nearby cars were riddled with bullets, showing clear signs of a wild crossfire. Forensics found patterns from both rifle rounds and handguns fired from several angles. This wasn't random chaos, it was a planned hit. Zoo was struck multiple times in the torso and stomach, the wounds showing he was directly in the line of fire. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital, fighting to keep him alive, but the damage was too severe. Hours later, he was pronounced dead. Another heartbreaking blow to Chicago's drill scene and the OTF circle. 2 other men, aged 39 and 42, were also hit, but survived with non-life-threatening wounds.
I can't argue with no trolls. I am a troll. This is what I do. I get on this bitch and tweak with y'all ass all day, every day. You hear me?
Their names remain private as detectives dig deeper into what really went down. Soon after, graphic clips of the aftermath spread across social media, though big outlets refused to show them because of how disturbing they were. As of that night, no suspects were named, no arrests made, but police confirmed it was a targeted attack. Another grim reminder of how deep the violence runs in Chicago's rap streets. This shooting marked another dark page in Chicago's violent story, where street ties, turf wars, and rap rivalries explode into deadly outcomes. Zoo's death hit even harder because it happened in Little Village, a Latino-dominated area run by sets like the Latin Kings and 2-6 Nation. The fact that Zoo, tied to the Black Disciples through THF and OTF, ended up there raised serious questions. Being far from his usual Inglewood and Taytown zones, investigators think it was either a trap or someone lured him out, straight into dangerous ground where his crew had no eyes or backup. Zoo was deep in the street game, representing Taytown Hustlers, a branch connected to Lil Durk's OTF network. He wasn't new to danger either. He'd already survived multiple shootings, including one in 2022, which turned him into a sort of legend in drill circles. But that same fame painted a target on his back. His music told it all: loss, revenge, and the pressure of living where trust fades fast and danger never sleeps. Each track sounded like a diary from someone battling both the streets and his own survival every single day. Detectives from Area 4 are still working non-stop, interviewing witnesses, checking every camera in the area, and studying the shell casings left behind. The mix of rifle and handgun rounds points to either multiple shooters or one car packed with armed men firing all at once. Experts are now testing the casings to see if they match weapons used in other Chicago crimes, since the same guns often move through underground hands for years. Online, the reaction was instant and explosive. X, formerly Twitter, flooded with heartbreak and disbelief as fans posted messages like, "Damn, R.I.P. Bezo," and "They really got Bezo." The pain hit deep, especially in the drill community, where Zoo was seen as a real stepper, someone who proved himself through action, not words. Others pointed out how rough things have been for OTF, with posts saying 2025 really ain't a good year for OTF, calling back to the tragic loss of King Von in 2020 and now Zoo. Photos and videos from the scene spread fast online, even though many were too disturbing to show. And within hours, confirmation posts from DJs and fans had already gone viral, sealing the reality that the streets lost another major name. The online grief hit instantly, turning social media into a live memorial, where fans, rappers, and street figures mourned while speculating about who did it and what might come next. In today's drill culture, loss doesn't wait for news outlets. It breaks online in seconds. But with every tribute, emotions boil over, and the line between pain and revenge talk gets dangerously thin. Zoo's death hit even harder because of the eerie timing. Exactly 1 year before, on October 26, 2024, he publicly defended Lil Durk on Instagram after Durk's federal arrest. That post, where he blasted the media and stood by his friend, now feels like a chilling final act of loyalty. A full-circle moment that fans can't ignore. Some call it tragic coincidence, others see something deeper behind the date. And Zoo himself once admitted he loved to stir things up online. He once said, "I can't argue with those trolls. I'm a troll. This is what I do. I get on here and tweet with y'all every day." That showed how aware he was of the online chaos. But it also proved how the internet game he played so well might have bled into something real, with deadly consequences. Zoo's family has kept their focus on grieving, asking for privacy instead of feeding rumors or sharing any last messages. Official voices, from Chicago PD to the Cook County Medical Examiner, have stayed tight-lipped, refusing to guess at motives or reveal evidence that could mess with the case. The autopsy was scheduled to confirm exactly how he died and gather crucial forensic proof, but results like that usually take weeks to go public. What really stood out was Zoo's brotherhood with Lil Durk, a bond built over years of loyalty, danger, and music. Their friendship came from Chicago's South Side, where both came up surrounded by poverty, broken schools, and gang pressure. They turned that struggle into something powerful, the Only the Family brand that grew from the streets into a national name. Zoo repped Tay-Town, the area tied to the Tay-Town Hustlers, a crew connected to Durk's own Laurent set under the Black Disciples umbrella. Together, they survived beefs, shootings, and arrests, standing by each other when things got ugly. Their story wasn't just music. It was survival, loyalty, and brotherhood born from the same rough streets that shaped them both. In Chicago's street world, alliances and rivalries ran deep. Complex ties between BD factions, GDS, and smaller neighborhood sets decided who was friend or foe, shaping loyalty, revenge, and even how people live day to day. Outsiders could never fully grasp that life unless they lived it themselves. Zoo and Durk's bond started long before fame. Way back before Durk's big breakout around 2011 to 2013, when Chicago's drill scene first blew up with names like Chief Keef and Lil Reese. Zoo was already active, jumping in street ciphers, dropping verses on underground mixtapes, and building his name both in music and on the block. Their friendship wasn't industry-made, it was born from real struggle and shared danger. One OTF insider once said, "Bezo was OTF before OTF was a label." That's family, not just a feature. That one line says it all. Their loyalty came from the trenches, not contracts. And Zoo's loss hit Durk on a level far deeper than music. For Durk, Zoo wasn't just another artist. He was family, in the truest Chicago sense. In that world, chosen family means everything, and betrayal can hit harder than any prison sentence. The loyalty in those bonds builds unbreakable brotherhoods, but also traps people in cycles of danger they can't easily walk away from without being labeled weak or fake. Zoo's spot in OTF wasn't about contracts or industry moves, it was built on trust and respect from the streets. Unlike Durk's Def Jam deal, Zoo was part of the core OTF circle, a street soldier and real collaborator who earned his place through loyalty, not paperwork. He showed up on OTF's 2019 Project Family Over Everything, spitting verses that reflected raw truth and pain straight from experience. But his biggest mark came with his 2020 project Nightmares in the Trenches. That tape showed how much he'd grown, rapping with emotion, exposing the mental scars from the lifestyle he lived. Every song carried the weight of paranoia, loss, and survival. Memories of violence and fallen friends that never faded. Zoo's words painted the streets exactly how they felt. Cold, unpredictable, and real, in a way that no mainstream story could ever match. Zoo's track Trench Baby showed exactly what made his music hit so hard. He opened the song with raw, street-heavy bars that set the mood, while Durk followed with verses tying their shared struggles to a bigger story, turning the track into a back and forth between two lives shaped by the same streets. The video racked up over 2 million views on YouTube, proving fans crave that real drill energy. Shot at night with crews throwing signs and standing deep, it felt dangerous, gritty, and real, not staged or polished, just life how it was lived. When Durk got hit with a federal case on October 24th, 2024, Zoo's loyalty spoke volumes. While others stayed quiet to protect themselves, he was one of the first to defend Durk online, standing by his name when it mattered most. The indictment accused Durk of being tied to a 2022 killing connected to rapper Quando Rondo's family, a case that could have meant life behind bars. Prosecutors had started using RICO laws to go after drill rappers, treating their lyrics and posts like evidence of organized crime. And right in the middle of that pressure, on October 26, 2024, exactly 1 year before his own death, Zoo posted an Instagram story defending Durk. He wrote, "Social media, fake fans, bloggers, y'all love giving unproven titles. You paint false pictures, then act shocked when it don't add up. Free the real." That post hit hard, pushing back against the image of Durk as some criminal mastermind and reminding everyone that accusations aren't proof. Zoo didn't just talk loyalty, he lived it. By tagging Durk and letting that post spread across fan pages and drill blogs, he made it clear he wasn't scared of heat from the feds or the streets. His words carried weight because people knew his history. He'd already survived shootings, beat serious charges, and wore his scars like proof of everything he rapped about. Zoo's loyalty always hit different because it came from real life, not from chasing clout or label politics. Unlike others who used street stories just for attention, his words carried truth, built on years of shared struggle with Durk. That's why his defense meant more than any PR move from outsiders trying to sound real. In a 2023 interview with No Jumper, Zoo spoke on Chicago's drill scene, but saved his real thoughts for a later group interview titled THF Zoo, Duty Low and Duty Low on OTF, Lil Durk, King Von, Beating Bodies, and Nightmares in the Trenches. Around the 10-minute mark, he praised Durk's leadership, saying something like, "Durk came from nothing and built this for us. He's the reason we eating out here." Real talk, that 1-hour interview, now over 500,000 views, gave fans a raw look into OTF's Brotherhood, how their music came from loyalty and loss, not just studio sessions. They talked, joked, built songs together, like a family that turned pain into art. Zoo also spoke about his own legal past, explaining how jail time deepened that bond. Around the 6:30 mark, he said, "We was innocent, we proved our innocence. But we all walked into county the same day, went through bond court, everything. After 3 months, we was living side by side." Zoo's words in that interview showed just how real the bond inside OTF was, built through shared battles for freedom, not business deals. Fighting serious charges together created a loyalty no contract could match. He spoke about staying true to your people, keeping it real, and never forgetting those who held you down before the fame. His death on October 26, 2025 fit the tragic pattern haunting Chicago's drill world, where music beefs, turf wars, and personal grudges often end in deadly violence. Police still haven't named suspects or revealed a motive, but detectives confirmed it was a targeted hit. With Chicago already logging over 500 killings by October that year, it's hard for every case to get the focus it deserves. Only the loudest stories break through. Zoo's ties to THF Tay-Town hustlers and OTF put him deep in the Black Disciples network, a world tangled in rivalries with other BD sets, GDS, and countless smaller groups, all fighting for turf, power, and reputation. He had already survived multiple shootings before this one, but the constant danger never really faded. Zoo's name carried heavy weight, not just as a rapper, but as a symbol. In the streets, he was both a respected survivor and a marked target, the kind rivals wanted to take down to prove power or settle old scores. After his death, unverified claims began flooding X, Reddit, and drill forums, each pushing a different theory, none confirmed by police or credible sources. The biggest rumor online points to a retaliation hit from a Black Disciples group known as Bashful Crazy from 71st and Wabash. The story goes that a THF member named TP was killed after a robbery involving rival affiliates, which allegedly led to a chain of revenge shootings. According to Street Talk, Man linked to that rival crew was later killed, and Zoo's murder was seen as payback for that. Again, none of this has been proven, but online, people claim THF made it too obvious with public disses and posts that might have reignited old beef. These rumors show how quickly street speculation turns into truth once it hits social media. Whether or not Bashful Crazy was actually involved, what's clear is that Zoo's death reopened old wounds and reminded everyone how blurred the line between the internet and the streets has become. No solid proof backs any theory so far. Cops haven't confirmed a thing. Still, the online chatter follows the same revenge logic that's long fueled Chicago's cycle of payback. Another angle floating around ties Zoo's death to OTF rivalries involving Quando Rondo's Circle or GS9 affiliates from New York, all linked through past tensions surrounding King Von's death. Some think Zoo's public defense of Durk in 2024, after Durk was hit with that federal case connected to Rondo's cousin, may have reignited those old online beefs. But the way the hit went down in Little Village points more to local shooters, people who knew the area, Zoo's habits, and how to move unnoticed. Out-of-state rivals wouldn't have that kind of access or timing. Others believe Durk's time behind bars left OTF more exposed, removing a key figure who kept certain street tensions under control. As one post put it, Durk really was the one protecting and feeding these guys, suggesting his absence opened the door for enemies to strike. Drill music has always walked a dangerous line, using coded bars that call out rivals while staying just vague enough to dodge legal heat. In that world, songs aren't just music. They're messages, memorials, and warnings all at once. The same art that tells their truth often fuels real violence, creating a cycle where the streets and the studio keep feeding each other. As for Zoo, it's hard to believe his killing was random. Nearly 40 shell casings, multiple cars hit, and a clear, targeted setup point to something personal. Still, police haven't ruled anything out yet. What puzzled people most was the location. Little Village, an area usually run by Latino gangs, far from Zoo's usual South Side spots. Why was he there at 3 a.m.? Maybe it was business, maybe someone lured him out, or maybe it was neutral ground meant for a meeting that went bad. What's clear is that Zoo's death fits into a much bigger story, Chicago's long struggle with drill-related violence. Drill rap, born around 2010 with artists like Chief Keef and Lil Durk, turned raw street life into sound. But it also blurred the line between art and evidence. Music videos filmed in rival blocks, lyrics calling out names, and online taunts made the genre explosive, both culturally and legally. Now, prosecutors use those same songs and posts in court, claiming they're proof of real crimes instead of creative expression. Artists, meanwhile, fight back, saying it's just storytelling, not confession. That tension sits at the heart of Durk's current federal case, where officials argue OTF's music and social media prove organized activity, while fans see it as art drawn from survival. Zoo's own life showed how deep that cycle runs. Born September 26, 1990, he grew up in Chicago's infamous Cabrini Green projects, a neighborhood known for poverty, danger, and neglect. He once called it a war zone, where you learned early that survival meant being smart, fearless, and ready to defend yourself. Zoo often spoke about getting in trouble young, stealing, fighting, and learning the rules of the streets long before rap came into play. Those early years built his tough image and gave him the credibility that later defined his music. Loyalty was everything to him, sometimes even more than safety or success. Family meant a lot in his story, too. He talked about protecting his siblings and taking care of his kids, even while living in a world that constantly tested him. Zoo was the big brother figure to fellow Chicago rappers Gouda and Mookie, guiding them through both music and survival. He said he had 7 kids, proud of being a dad, but honest about how hard it was to balance that life with the streets pulling him in every direction. In 2014, he faced serious legal trouble after being arrested at Lil Durk's home over a case tied to an earlier crime, showing just how close danger always stayed, even when music started offering a new path. That 2014 arrest over a rival's death became a turning point in Zoo's story. He eventually beat the case and walked free, but it publicly tied him to THF and OTF, putting his name right in the middle of Chicago's most dangerous scene. Even after his release, he stayed under supervision, with talk of possible violations in 2023, though nothing was ever officially confirmed before his tragic end in 2025. Zoo had already survived several shootings, including a known 2022 attack linked to street feuds, and each time he made it out, his legend grew. To fans, he wasn't rapping fiction, he was living every word. But those same close calls showed how real the danger was. In that life, old beefs never die. They just wait for a moment of weakness. Zoo's story is a harsh reminder of how survival and fame often walk the same risky line in drill culture. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next one.